Today's topic: every goddess must slay. You better know it. Let's get right into it. Slay what, you ask? Every damn thing. Slay every damn thing. Every goddess is meant to slay as she gives birth. And we are always birthing something, aren't we? By design, we bring forth life. It is our innate superpower, and not just physically, but metaphysically. So whether it's a baby, a dream, a vision, an idea, the birthing process is sacred and one that is never really meant to be done alone, right? So when you think about a goddess or what she represents, what comes to mind? I think of regalness. I think of deity. I think of femininity. I think of beauty. I think of divinity. I think of power, magic. And I guess I also see a goddess as never being alone, unless she desires to do so, because there is always someone around, either taking care of her or doing for her, because she is able to assign tasks at will. And she does the powerful stuff, right? So in my mind, that's what I see a goddess being. And every goddess needs her tribe. She needs her sisters there, loving and supporting her along this birthing journey. Oh, by the way, SLAY, SLAY, is an acronym for self-love awaits you. And it does. So slaying, if you're thinking of slaying in the sense of self-love awaits you, I guess it could be defined as the art of standing in your own feminine power. That way it allows you to bring forth and live according to the badass goddess that resides within you. So the element of self-love has to be the basis for it all. The other day, I was on Rising Higher Meditations on YouTube, right? And it stated that only those who can love themselves can be of true service to the world. And that so clicked for me. It clicked for me. To me, it summated the truth of a goddess. Take care of you, love you, then and only then can you serve the world, you know? It also reminded me of something that Lisa Nichols said, that you can't serve from an empty cup. You get what I'm saying? And if you think about it, like, just get the visual. You know, you've got this cup, you've got this saucer, you've got this cup, and there's nothing in it. If there's nothing in it, there's nothing for you to serve. There's nothing for you to share with anybody else, right? But if your cup is full, if it's more than full, it begins to run over and you can give from the saucer too. I love that. Love it. So just think of slaying as the reason for your beingness. You are here to own, stand, and walk in your authenticity, in your feminine power. And that has been innately ingrained into the fibers of your being. And all the while, you are restoring your mind. You're rebuilding your queendom. You're living your life and slaying the world around you. Yes, your life is for the slaying, my dear goddess. And it's time to slay it out loud. Hey, consider this your non-negotiable. Consider it your only opportunity. You know, your one chance, your one big chance to dance your dance and to set the world on fire with your presence. You are the love, the light, and the truth. No more hiding in the shadows. The world needs your slay. So embrace it and act like it's now or never. Now, do you accept this mission, 007? I mean, 00 Goddess. Do you accept your mission to own your power? You are obligated to embrace the slay by making self-love the basis for which you rebuild your foundation, for which you recommit to loving yourself first, foremost, and fully loving yourself. Then live without fear and authentically birth your truth. Own your power, goddess. How? I'm glad you asked. First, by living up to Lola Labor of Love Academy's motto of always living, learning, leading, and loving. I know it's a tongue twister, but you can say it. I promise you, you can. Always living, learning, leading, and loving. Always live your own life first. You're living your best life. Yes, that's where you're supposed to be. That's where I'm supposed to be. Living our best life. Always learning from every experience, whether good, bad, indifferent, whether tragic or traumatic. And no matter to the depths of those, we have to live from those. We have to learn from those and build from those. I didn't say it was easy. And then we always have to lead by example. If you lead by the example of your own truth, others can't help but to follow. You know, we always want to tell somebody else what to do. But the funny thing is, like even with our children, right? We just do what I tell you to do. But the truth is, they going to do what they see us doing, not what we tell them to do, right? And then finally, always do whatever you do from a loving space. That right there is not easy either. But that should always be our ultimate goal. Always. And since we're here talking about it, let's also put our other musts on the table. Ultimate goddess goals. Always slay. Always live, learn, lead, and love. And always own your power. These are musts for goddesses. They are your non-negotiables. And as you seek to own your power and become the greatest version of you, just make sure that you understand these 4 basic concepts and why they need to be incorporated into your becoming. Remember, RERC. Restore, evolve, reveal, celebrate. It's as simple as that. R, restore. Restore the mind. See, from day one, we've been programmed. We've been programmed with other people's beliefs and feelings and thoughts and ideals. And because of that, we have adapted those as our own, even if somewhere deep within we don't truly believe it. So the ultimate goal here is to restore your mind back to its purest form, or as close to it as you can get. That's step 1. And so in order to restore the mind, we have to peel back those layers. We have to decide what we want to keep and what we want to throw away and even replace. E, evolve. Evolve the self. Inevitably, as you work through the restoration process, evolution of your authentic self will occur. You'll begin to ask questions of everything. And as you do, answers will emerge and the truth will be revealed. R, reveal. reveal the truth. That's one of your ultimate goals. Revealing the truth will give you the opportunity to release what I like to call OPBS, other people's belief systems. I have no problem with you if you want to refer to it as other people's bullshit, because honestly, that's the way I feel about it. So we're looking to release unwanted downloads. And in essence, I guess you could say that you'll work to brainwash yourself from the previous brainwashing that has already occurred. Sounds a little crazy, I know, but it's the truth. We've got to get those messages out of there somehow, some way. And then finally, the big C. Celebrate. Celebrate everything. As you make strides towards the greatest version of you, you have to celebrate and celebrate often. I'll tell you that KB is one of my closest and dearest friends, and every time I'm in Cleveland, every time I make an appearance, we go out to our favorite girl hangout restaurant to celebrate, right? And every time they ask, "Are you ladies celebrating anything today?" And without fail or hesitation, we say, "Yeah." Now, sometimes we look at each other trying to figure out what it is we celebrating in that moment, but it don't matter because we are celebrating who we are. So we say yes every time. That should be the goal of every goddess. So, yes, always seek to restore the mind, evolve the self, reveal the truth, and celebrate everything. And as you do that for yourself, it is essential that you do that for your sisters. And I don't mean selectively, I mean collectively. See, there's so much out there that's already against us that we should always seek to take care of one another and not tear one another down. You know, we are sister goddesses along this amazing journey. And we are here to uplift, to edify, to love on one another, and to do it throughout our lifetime. And I have to say, we're not just connected like pieces in a puzzle. We are interwoven like the fibers in a fabric, right? Think about it. Look at whatever garment you have on, or even the couch that you may be sitting on, and look at how each individual piece is so interwoven that it's created this fabric that you cannot tell unless you're looking at it this way, that there's anything separate about it. You don't look at your shirt and say, "Oh, look at all of these fibers." You say, "Man, look at this shirt that was nicely put together. Oh, I love that." And so I kind of have to look at us that same way. So when I see women, well, when I see people, but especially women, and even more than that, black women, when I see them not loving on one another and not taking care of one another and not respecting one another, it kind of breaks my heart. It does something to me. And the sad thing is, I've seen women all over the world not loving on one another, treating each other disrespectfully. And that's something, my dear sisters, that we just have to put a stop to. We're going to have to figure out how to combat that. So just as we come together to uplift, to love and support one another in everyday life, we have to remember that that is inclusive of sisters in business, right? Because in business, just like in everyday life, sisters must slay together. There is no competition amongst sister goddesses, and we have to remember that. We have to remember that we have to love our competition, because your competition is your sister. We have to stop doing what everybody else in the world does. We can't even do business how everybody else in the world does. That doesn't work for us. So fuck the status quo. We become our best selves when we commit to that truth and to helping other sister goddesses realize their own dreams. So, with that being said, I will conclude with Lola Labor of Love Academy's decree, which I think sums up what being a sister goddess truly means and why every goddess must slay. Divine individuals of vision and action are words filled with life, love, truth, and passion. We in this to win this like nobody's business. This is our city for which we stand witness, joined by our sisters for whom we do sentence self-love, reclamation, intention, committance. Divas of the Academy, unite, don't miss this. Innovation, cultivation, divination, and bliss. We come first in our life. That's real shit. No shame in our game. Authentic and true to it.